I think that's my favorite questions. And I think dementia education should start at the higher level with stakeholders. For example, I'm working with older adults population, so I apply food stamps. I have to recertify their lease. So at early stage of dementia, when they receive the letters from food stamps, they forget to renew their food stamp every year. So what happened? It's like of a punishment. If you start to become forgetfulness, unfortunately, they will cut your food stamps. So I think we really need to address at the higher level as we get older, dementia, it should be a red flag for us that everybody should pay attention the way we live, because we forget a lot of time, and that's the first time in the community they forget to pay their rent, they forget to renew their food stamp, they forget to renew their healthcare insurance, and the stakeholders, the higher level, they just cut all services. So you can imagine someone who lives with dementia, especially in independent living, because they don't have children around, they don't have some housing, they don't have no services. So as a punishment, those people with dementia, and now they don't have no food, they don't have no services, they don't have no transportation services. So I think dementia friends in the future should increase this program in the higher level, in the institution level, and make dementia education as a priority, as a former, even in human resources, to understand people. So that's my wish, and everybody can live well with dementia if the higher level knows about it.
I have a dream. We have a place, have open mind, open arm, people we can trust, speak your language, understand your culture. I think that's the key. If people feel comfortable to talk about this, I think change the whole thing. So I think the coming to the structure side should be community-based organization, local council on aging, a community center, senior center. They usually visit, usually they feel comfortable to interact with the people. So start from there. That will be a great place to start. Thank you.
In my community, I see that they don't have any problem to talk about dementia, but they don't know where to look for services and help to them. So I totally, again, agree with Koen that we have to have something in other languages, you know, and understand about the culture, because it's very different. And when you go in somewhere, the treatment sometimes is not what they expect. So it's my dream too, Koen, to have all of this.
I would have to agree with Alana and Judith and Koen. We do need our officials to be more educated on what is going on in the world of dementia and Alzheimer's, so that these problems don't keep happening over and over and over. You know, we're all getting older. We're all going to start to experience what is going on with our seasoned in elderly and senior populations. So yes, it does need to start at the top level. We need to share more with each other about what's going on in all our different communities.
Dementia is such a powerful and negative word, but it's also, as everybody keeps talking about, people are living with dementia. So what do we do for people have a sense of well-being when they're living with dementia? So, I mean, giving people things to do and what you can do. The arts are wonderful. They're failure-free activities. And also keeping people well, physically well and healthy when they are living with dementia too. Because if you're not feeling good, if your arthritis pain is bothering you and you are living with dementia, it's going to be coming out in other ways. So I think we all have an obligation that even if somebody is living with dementia, we don't forget about all those other aspects which keep our lives really fully, keeping socially engaged, all those things that are good for our brain health overall. And the other thing that I wanted to also stress is the value of support groups for people who are living with dementia, or who also, even for family members. I facilitate an online support group for virtual national group for families who have somebody with an intellectual disability and dementia, and having that conversation, the support, and you were talking about people from within your community to be able to discuss these things, and people are, it's amazing the people who are in support groups, just how helpful they are to each other. And I don't underestimate the value of this for a lot of people, that in your culture, et cetera, how having each other to work, to support each other is amazing. And it's so powerful in itself.
Beth, you talked about, what ingredients there are, and I'm thinking about what's this recipe that we're creating. And Kuhn and Judith talked about their dreams, and I saw that in the chat, people were talking about dreams. And just so you know, I don't do dreams, I do wishes. And I have my magic wand, and so hopefully my wishes will also come true. And I have two wishes or ingredients I would like to be part of the future. The first is to move towards what we call, and I'm sure there's a broader term, a strengths-based approach to dementia. Meaning not what somebody can't do, but let's focus on what they still can do and build upon that and see that sense of value. And the second is that I think that it's very, very important that we send the message that everyone in the community has a role to play. And I understand the importance of support groups and many of the other things that we have talked about. But I can't think of anyone who doesn't have a role. And unless we involve everyone and help them see that and see the strength, I'm not sure what we're going to cook with this recipe.
Algo muy importante que debemos de hacer.
Something very important that we need to do with our community, the Latino community, in the case of my community, is that we need to gain their trust. When we gain their trust, we can also give them referrals to the different resources available, because many of them are immigrants and they don't have the knowledge of those resources. I think it's very important to gain their trust, because we always have that barrier that don't allow people to open up their hearts. I think it's very important to get close to them and to open the doors so they can have those resources that are available in this country. Thank you.
Here in our community, the same TSR said trust is very important to build trust and caring for our community. To me, if we can find someone trustworthy in our community to share more information or bring more awareness about dementia, and to educate and guide the family members on how to help and support, as well as share the resources with the families who are living with dementia and their family member, I think will be very helpful, as most people in our community feel more comfortable sharing and be more open about their situation with the community leader they trust. And it's also easier for them to ask for help for their community leader. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. And I think it's a great note to close this part of our program with the emphasis on trust and that community connection.